which is to dance and to give joy and to meditate and to give thanks and to give prayer. And that's the start of my days now.
I love that. I love the dancing part, Jill. I feel like there is this opportunity to be able to play and dance, because this rawness that we can show up with can really bring us into some really deep shifts that aren't serving us. So ladies, let's start talking about some of the ways that you're finding that you're helping people nurture their soul. And also, Jill, you're such in the heart space, so you're going to be there, but I can see you speaking to help people get out in business, because it's so scary when we're doing this big shift and we're trying to figure out where. You're going to get some great nuggets here. Anybody want to go first? Please share.
I've always tried is the wrong word. I am a light worker. I work in a light body, and that means I bring a lot of radiance into myself, and I transmit that out into my environment. It means being centered. It means being grounded. It means being in control is the wrong word. Sometimes human language is not the right language, but knowing what I think, because I choose what I think and how I say it. I choose to create the reality around me. And that kind of attitude, that kind of light work, I take it out into everywhere I go, which means I smile at people and I give them a real smile, not a social smile. I try to connect to the real person, to their energy. In group work, I try to be, I call it the temperature in the room, the person that uplifts, that helps reframe thoughts so people can see the positive energy, feel a positive energy. And when you do that work consistently, people start to notice it. And I remember that when I still worked, I would get these comments of, when you're there, there's always more light. You're always radiant. I love when you come by my office, because it's that work and you can do it on purpose. You don't have to feel good about yourself today and tomorrow you're not. It doesn't matter. You bring the light and people will react to it.
Thank you. I have to second that emotion, as much as, and I do bring a business light, but what I know is that inner radiance is part of the message, is part of who you are, it's authentic. And I think that as we lift ourselves, and it does, take vigilance. This isn't like, I don't wake up Pollyanna every day. I wish I could say I did, but I think it takes vigilance and consistent action to keep yourself high, to practice kindness. I wrote a book called Profit of Kindness. So I'm really big on, you have to practice a conscious act of kindness, not just a random act, right? And I do think that it is key every day to do very specific things, whether it's in my business to, for my clients to put themselves out there and take an action to do that, to lift your light, to take and be vigilant about who you're going to be that day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Catherine, I know you're going to go next, Catherine Brewer. Jill Lublin, you know how you help people with their light and shining. Could you layer in some of the angles for publicity? Because, people really need to hear this light and message. How are some of the angles you're seeing right now to be able to help people really be in their
Absolutely.
heart, not feel scared?
Well, here's what's interesting. I mean, truly, when this happened, I found that there's a lot of very important new positioning, new angles that people can take. Like, I have a parenting coach I work with in the area of publicity, and we're doing stories about how not to pull your hair out while raising your kids. And I mean, one of my clients, she's a business consultant. She goes, I don't know how to teach math. So that's a story in and of itself, right? Like, how do you run a business, raise your children, be in relationship, you know, and make it all work. So anybody who's any expert in any area of stress, health, wellness, doing business differently, technical issues, having new ways of doing business, any business consultants and business coaches. I think there's really new opportunities right now for new messages, right? And some of it will be new messages, but I also know that in working with thought leaders and people who I know to be thought leaders, even if they don't yet, that you're setting yourself up ahead, right? So you want to be thinking not just this moment, but in the world of publicity, in my world, I'm always thinking also 3, 6, and 9 months ahead. So as a leader, so to speak, and I believe we all are, this is an opportunity to lead. And as Sabina said, it's leading with light, right? As Catherine's talking about, we're all saying really the same thing, that you have the opportunity to be a leader right now. Choose what you're going to put out as a message. And if you have a message you can put out right now with anything having to do with any of those issues I just spoke of, let's do it. You know, let's rock. This may be your moment. This is the moment when a lot of my clients are finally getting their darn book done, you know, and I think that's a key, right? So work on those projects that are going to leave legacies, write articles right now about your subject matter and start posting and start telling the world while you're using this time what it is you're an expert in, and serve others with that expertise. Those are some good thoughts as a start for getting your publicity out.
I like that you're sharing that, Jill, in that it is time to start right now. You know, some of us are scared and slowing down and not knowing different ways. And so with you speaking about the future, if you get going right now, it's going to give you the opportunity. You're going to be way ahead of what you ever thought you could be, because this is the time for leaders really to be stepping up, which we're speaking to everybody. Some people are stepping into it sooner than others, that leader word. So thank you, Jill. Catherine Brewer.
Yes, thank you, Jill. Because I wanted to bring, we're talking about the future, and since I was born, I have seen what I called the world of big love. And we are now at the place to move into that. And people talk about, okay, we're going into the age of, actually, we're not going in. We are in the age of Aquarius now. We have left the Piscean age, and we are in the age of Aquarius now. Very beginning, but we're in it. People talk about we're moving into the 5th dimension. People talk about we're evolving as a species. It doesn't matter what label or door you put on it. We are in a time of unprecedented change that has never been in recorded history, this degree of change. On this past Thursday, the Schumann resonance is the vibration of the earth, and it has been 7.83 hertz for centuries. This last Thursday, it was 138.
Right.
That's 17 times. The energies of the planets are configuring themselves in ways that haven't been for 500 years, for 2,000 years. We are in a time that no one has experienced before. So the possibility and the fear, because it's unknown, it's both there. Both are there. Plus the sadness. In order to have the new, you have to let go of the old.
Yes.
And so there's sadness about that, and to acknowledge that, and there's all these pieces, like knowing what is mine, what really are my feelings that are coming up for me to look at and to release, so that there's room then for more light, to hold more light, to receive more light. And what is it that I'm picking up that is the fear of everybody that's going into the field? the field of humanity, because we're all connected in a field of energy. So which is mine and which isn't mine? And if it isn't mine, how do I get rid of that quickly? Clear my energy fields. And if it is mine, how do I be with it, like Michelle was talking about in the last hour? How do I be with it and get its message and then clear it? So I actually have a little free gift on my website that's align yourself to gracefully navigate change.
Mm.
And I think that's what we're about, is, and community comes into that too. We can't do it alone anymore. None of us can do it alone anymore.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we're going into, ladies, can we talk about partnership? You know, some people think that they need to be doing this alone. And so we're talking about people seeking mentors, coaches, guidance, but also with partnering, asking for help. We have some people out there that believe that they can do this alone. Can we really speak in that? I'm finding this to feel very powerful, what you were just speaking about, Catherine.
So can I pick up on something there? Because frankly, I've been in a collaborative space called CEO space for 18 years, which is all we do is collaborate and connect. And so I'm really clear on the power of that. And I have to tell you, when this thing hit, the first thing I thought of was, all right, who are the people to collaborate with? I do make one connection call at least every single day, meaning it's either scheduled or I make one and put it out there. I think right now more than ever, and this is the new future, we cannot do anything alone anymore. I don't think as human beings we were meant to do that. We need team. That means individually, as a business person, you may need an assistant or support, but we also need each other to collaborate, to connect, to bounce off each other, to bring our talents that are many and varied so that we support each other. I think these are all really important pieces as we move forward, that there is no such thing as individual anymore. It is a collective, and we must move forward that way to be successful.
Jill, I hear that so much.
I want to add the soul plane level to that, because I just spent a week in a meditation seminar for light body workers. And one of the big meditations in there was, we're all vibrational light beings, we're all souls. And we all send out energies, looking for energies to mesh with us. And so we had these wonderful meditations creating soul communities of sending out your energies, and you could literally feel the energies move and mesh and come together in these beautiful, for me, beautiful bands of light and love. And that's on the soul plane what we're doing. What we're doing, what Jill just said on the earth plane, is this kind of connecting. There's so many different layers in how we can connect. We don't always have to think just in one dimension. We can really go broader in it and bring all of that energy to us.
I love that. I know, Catherine, you want to add to this too. I just had a retreat Friday and Saturday, and I'm finding that I was raised by a single parent, and I had somebody in our community also that's a single parent raising a child. And sometimes we're in this mode that we can do all this by ourselves. So Sabina, Catherine, Jill, what we're talking about is really guiding people in what's the fabulous nuggets when we get to ask, do that ask for help. And what I found is I had the group just we were on Zoom, so it was like a Brady Bunch looking style. And I said, look around, you're already asking for help because you get to be part of this group. And I thought it was a wonderful way to just do a little nice knock, 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 that, you know, you're already asking for help. So that makes it feel like you can feel the power in that by feeling that action as it's happening. So I really was celebrating that for a moment of watching people start connecting with that. We are on a new layer here, and I think it's been around for a while, but now is the time to not close the door and believe you're going to go behind your desk and do everything alone. What do you have to say about that, Catherine? I know you have a
well, a piece that I want to add is yes, the connecting with one another on one another, humans, with nature, the energies that we get from the earth, from the trees, from the birds that you said, Jill. And then I want to go a step beyond that, that whether you think of it as like actual guides, beings, or whether you think of it as God, or whether you think of it as life, the big intelligence of the matrix of life, whatever you think of it that is beyond you, that's there for each of us every day. And at least most of my past, I didn't think of asking for help with that, through that. And now it's like that's another partnership. To partner with life, to partner with divine, if you are believing in that. That's another partnership. And especially now, for those of us who live alone, I live alone. And so I deeply miss my personal contacts and touch and all of that. And I could feel alone. I don't. And I feel less alone, actually, because of enhancing my palpable feeling of support in whatever you want to call it, the ethers, the energy, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter the words you use. It's there. Quantum physics is confirming it now. What sages have talked about. Quantum physics is confirming. It's there. We are surrounded in energy every single moment.
So this expert pod, this hour, we're really speaking about reawakening, new opportunity. So what are you seeing in this area of what's happening for people you're seeing out there for new opportunity, new things that are going on?
Well, if I may, couple things. One is that I'm seeing my clients get that book done. That maybe I've been encouraging them to do, or and I'm seeing people write articles and appear on podcasts and publicity, things that are actually fairly easy to do and to get done. So that's exciting. And then I think if you shift and pivot a little bit of your offering, like for instance, I'm doing how to get publicity in troubled times. I had 100 people on a webinar. I haven't had 100 people on a webinar in a while. That was very exciting. I took one of my clients, he talks about love and technology, and I had him do a thing around, how to put love into your technology. I have a stylist, and I told her I want her to do a new Facebook Live called "Does This Zoom Make Me Look Fat?" just play with it.
Some juicy stuff that we're playing with here, because that is important. We want to feel good when we're showing up, Jill. I love these angles. Any more, my friend? I bet you have tons.
I do have quite a few, but I will tell you, you are laying the foundation right now, and publicity grows like a garden. You have to plant seeds. So if you're planting seeds right now for what is right now, like shifting, like the stylist, does this Zoom make me look fat? Or, can you do something about, there's a speech person, how to give better speeches that I work with. Well, we're doing a thing around how do you show up on Zoom better, so that you look good and sound good, which, by the way, a lot of people don't. So I think that's really key to take your skill set, whatever that is, and apply it to what is right now. And that could be a spiritual work, like my lovely colleagues here, you know, it's about how to connect spiritually, that's the message you put out, right? How do you get freshly inspired, Rhonda, every day? You know, that is a good theme to put out. So take whatever you are and apply it to what is right now. And that will make a huge difference as we go forth.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thank you, Jill. And you know, you mentioned choice, and Michelle and before was talking about choice. That and so we're talking about the new and new opportunities. Every choice you make is a seed for the future that you plant for the future. And so if you so if in your head you're thinking, I want to flip that person off, and you think, oh my goodness, I've just chosen an awful future. They have to be watered and nurtured and have light. So whatever choice you make is a seed for the future, but you can choose which ones you want to water. And part of what I'm seeing in the new is people really asking, who am I? Is what I've been doing in life what I really want to do? Have I ever stopped to think what I really, really, really want to do? And yeah, now you can. What is your heart saying? What is your soul saying? Because my perspective is every single one of us that's alive on the planet now chose to be here now. That's my perspective. So there's something that we are wanting to get from being here now.
Right.
And the bigger picture, like what was it, Sylvia Brown, that was a psychic, and she wrote a book in 2008 predicting this pandemic, exactly, a respiratory disease, predicting it completely. There's a much bigger picture here. And there was some, and the other part that you kind of said, Jill, and you're talking about, Sabine, as you go and you interact with just people at the grocery store. We're all experts. And as we move into this next, whatever, 5D, whatever you're going to call it, whatever your gifts are, have a place. And we will be honoring everybody's gifts. We can see now that the workers who pick up the garbage are super essential important. So it's like everybody is an expert in what you've come here to be. And if you're not feeling it, check and see, well, what is it that I want to offer to the world? And how can I do that? And then ask people to help. Okay, I want to do this. How do I do this?
That was beautiful, Catherine. Thank you. And I agree with you. From talking to people, from what I hear, we have this break time right now of being introspective. We can do it right now. Can really connect to our hearts. What do we want to be? Who do we want to be? Do I want to continue my life the way it was before I got asked to stay at home? Or do I want to take the time to reflect what to do? And we're going to see many, many people who will come out of this experience with a reframed mindset of, this is not how I wanted to live. How do I want to live? And who can I find who can help me answer the questions I have? I think that's really going to be a big shift for many people. And this, I think, is what the pandemic ultimately will do for the world. Shift, how do we live? How do we want to create our reality and our world? And how can we do this in a sustainable, beautiful way with the Schumann resonance going higher and higher? Because that is part of why we feel energies now that we couldn't feel 10, 20 years ago.
Yes.
I love that word shift. And I noticed for myself before all this started happening and really working with the clients too, was that I already had this plan. I knew what 2020 was going to be. And it allowed me to feel like I was like, yes, okay, I'm on this trail and it felt like it was control. Like I've been planning this for a while. I've been running this show for a few years. I've been a health coach for 12 years. So what does all this mean? 2020, and I had this theme and I was going and working this space. The shift, when I realized that we were going to be doing this more virtual stuff, the biggest thing that I found in the way I came across as a coach and the founder of this show, it helped me hunker in more.
Mm-hmm.
It helped me, we said like reframing. So I want us to speak about that. It helped me start reframing things, even in my personal life. I acknowledge that there were certain things as I'm healing from my thyroid journey, just recently stepping into it more and more, that I started speaking more truth. I started realizing I was kind of hiding myself in the back end of my spirituality. There are certain things I would say. So with that being said, where are you finding like these two words, reframing and shifting? What does that mean to you? What does it mean with the clients you're working with? Or what does that mean to you? Where does that really get you buzzing?
Okay, I'll go with that. That reframing has been part of what I've done in my work for many years, even back when I was a marriage family therapist and a school psychologist, to reframe, partly moving away from the perspective of victim and scarcity, because our society is a lot of it has been built on the victim perpetrator idea, the good, the bad. Moving into what we're moving into, that duality is going away. We're no longer learning from pain. Humans have learned from pain. We've learned our deepest lessons from pain. We're moving out of that. We're moving into learning from possibility, learning from passion, and learning from moving forward. And so it's reframing from what the victim perspective is. Somebody did something to me. I'm not good enough. I'm a victim. Finding that in us, because it's in us. We've brought it forward from centuries. To find that and find the keys to release it. I just got a download 2 days ago of another way to release that. And reframe into, okay, how has this experience, whatever it is, served me? What can I take forward from this that makes me live a better life, be a better person, be more of who I am? So it's an overall perspective shift that then you can bring down into your personal experience and say, how do I shift looking at this? So thank you for that question, Rhonda.
Yeah.
So if I may, I have to say, this has been such a great opportunity to shift, to reframe. And I think for all of us, I mean, this is your moment to absolutely decide who you want to be now. And, take forward the good and leave the rest and whatever. I mean, listen, I was on planes half the month. And there were for wonderful things in speaking and training and consulting. And I love that. And, I think there comes a point where, for me, it was getting to be too much. You know, like where was I finding balance or not? So for me, sitting in one place has been very nurturing, very enriching, very exciting to find new ways to serve. You know, I had a speaking engagement talking to 250 people last week in Dallas. I was supposed to be in Dallas. You know what? We did it all virtually, and there were even more people because he was virtual. And I went, oh, this is interesting. You know, I just think there are even more possibilities now if you look to see what else can open for you, and sometimes not get attached to how we've done things. And I think this moment puts up for grabs everything in how we've done things before. And that is a good question to be with. Like, what works for you now, and who you want to be, and what, you know, what feels right and what feels good, and new ways of doing things. And this is what's so cool about the way this has forced us to do things newly via Zoom, via Facebook Live, via, you know, reaching out to people in so many different ways. You know, I had a birthday party virtually. It was very connected. And in fact, I got to be with more people that I've never seen or can't come to my birthday parties, including my family who lives all over in different places. I mean, what a blessing that is.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a blessing. Happy birthday, Jill.
Thank you. I'm an April baby. Aren't you too, Rhonda?
I'm a May. I'm going to be 51, Jill. I'm excited because I'm going into those 50s, so I'm ready to party, my friend.
All right, let's do it.
It's gonna be.
We can have a
Zoom,
dance party virtually.
I'm May too, and
Ah,
I will be 80.
Woohoo! You look so beautiful.
oh, I get amazed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wanted to go back a little bit to what Catherine said about the reframing. One of the reframing parts for me is always whatever happens, whether it's good or bad, those are human judgment calls. They're just happening. And the reframing for me is, why is that happening? What am I supposed to learn from it? What is the gift in that happening, even if it's cancer or something that goes totally wrong from what I thought it should be, but it isn't? And where is the learning in it? And I learned when I play with that, and it's a playing. And there are a couple of words I would like to introduce that are play, joy, and abundance, because they are part of this journey if you really live it. And when you start playing with, why is this happening? Why am I stubbing my toe? Why is this not going the way I thought? And you let it go and say, okay, the universe will take care of it. Something better will come along. And without fail, when you look back on something and go, oh, I didn't get this, I didn't get that, but because of that, something else opened up and it is even better. And to learn to play with that instead of just looking at, there's a wall, where's the door, to say, it's okay. Something better will come along, and something better does come along, always. And that's the fun part. When you start playing with energies, when you start living in, and to me, that is abundance. It's not material. Abundance is knowing there's always more than you need coming towards you, no matter what. And sometimes we need what we call pain to get to the other side of joy.
Oh my gosh, you're speaking my language, Tina, Catherine, Jill. I am so into this play, joy, abundance. There's times I feel restricted. We brought up restricted. And sometimes when I play and I'm in joy and abundance, I look aloof and I look like I don't know what I'm doing. But I so believe that that is the essence of expertise. To be able to allow somebody that feels restricted that everything is going to be okay. Yesterday, I showed up with this retreat I was doing, and I was dancing and saying, I'm so happy to be with this community. And somebody else on the call said, that makes me uncomfortable. And she spoke to it because she felt restricted. And after she spoke, she said, that was about me, not about you, that I was feeling restricted. And I wanted to tell you that you were disturbing my restriction. And she was playing with us. Ladies, we're like 15 minutes left of this space. Can we do that? Can we bring in the play, joy, and abundance? And also you can speak to about the restriction and really bring in your expertise about what you're seeing, because this is the area that I feel is so gold right now in the stuff that we're talking about. Please share.
Well, restriction is fear-based. And Catherine alluded to it. Our society is very fear-based. The messaging we receive, especially from media, is very fear-based. It's meant to keep us in a small, secure space, but we don't need to be there. And that's where we can work in ourselves and break through those restrictions, recognize that the restrictions are just our ego saying, I want you to be safe, I want you to be safe. Tell your ego, tell your little I, just go, take notes, step out. I know what I'm doing. Look, there is all the fun and the play. Just wait. It's one of the things I do when I go into meditations, because my ego starts doing the mind chatter, and I just let it know. Sit there, take notes. The soul part, can have fun and can go, and let's not get stuck in fear.
Thank you, Sabine. I love the take notes. Is this a time maybe to share a really quick technique?
Hey, if it brings us into play, joy, and abundance,
yes.
Got it, my friend.
And this is for when you've picked up the fear that's all out there, or you've picked up anything that's all out there, and you've seen the news or whatever. And so you want to get back to your joyful spot within. So if you imagine that you're in nature and you see this beautiful waterfall, and it's huge. It's like 7 feet wide, 7 feet deep. This huge, but it's very slow and gently coming down. And you go to it, and you see that it's not water; it's little crystals. And so you step into this crystal waterfall, and each crystal is like a magnet that pulls from you all of the negativity and the fear and everything else that you've picked up, and it rinses you and all your energy fields around you. It rinses it, takes it down into the earth, and then you can play in the water. You can splash, you can float, you can dive, you can do anything you want in the water, because you now are light and buoyant, and you're not bogged down by what you've picked up from around you.
That's beautiful.
I felt some lightness there.
Yeah.
Jill, how do people get to play in that publicity area where they get to feel like they got this, to play, joy, and abundance? Where does this help them so they don't feel restricted and scared when they're writing a book and when they are still, these deep spiritual souls? All these entrepreneurs out there, they're a lot like us, what we're talking about. Please share, my friend.
Absolutely. Well, what I know is when you are featured in media as an expert, or you're doing a podcast or a Facebook Live, even of your own business to others, there is joy in that. It's exciting. And I think if you let that energy run through you and realize the aliveness of the opportunity to share with others your gift, to leave, as I feel it, a legacy of an imprint and an impression, even a footprint, even a toe in the water, whatever it is that you're leaving. And then, of course, to come to it with that energy. And part of that, is a bit learned. You can learn how to work with media so that your aliveness comes forth that it does deliver abundance to you, because it does. It delivers prospects and clients to you. That I know, case study after case study. So I think the significance of showing up with your aliveness, with your joy, with your abundance unleashed from you will immediately draw people to you without concern. And as far as writing books, let me just say, I've been helping people get book deals for over 18 years with major publishers and agents. And as you can see from behind me, I have 4 of my own, and been blessed to help many other people get their books done. And so one of the things that I know is that as you let your knowledge pour forth, that what happens is all the fine tuning can be done, right? There are experts to fine tune and editors to fine tune, but let me tell you, I get major book deals for people without a word written. That's pretty joyful. So that, you know, what's fun and abundant and playful about that is that actually when you start writing your book, I mean, I didn't write one of these books behind me until I actually had an advance and a contract. I mean, that's a lot easier in the process and makes the process a lot more fun and joyful and abundant. So that to me is pretty exciting. So there's lots of opportunities to keep putting yourself out there and to have that boomerang with the abundance and joy of what that creates in the world.
And I find that to be so important, all that you're saying, because we need to get out there. And
yes,
yeah, and sometimes we believe that it's because of, you know, we can come at ourselves and be restricted and think it's something about us, but it's the tools that we need. And so today you were talking about publicity and the heart sense, making sure that you are standing as the leader you are. Jill, very important stuff, because you could be the best person on the block. Now we're talking in the world, since we're all virtual now, but it's not going to help unless you know how to get yourself out there. And then the play, the joy and abundance comes because you get to share and help people in what you're doing. And that's why I wanted you with these deep spirits, where Sabina and Catherine were really discussing about all the deep spiritual space. But since you come so much from the heart, I saw this partnership as so important today in the reawakening, because we need to have both of those. When people start talking about that health and wellness and spirituality is one day, and then the next day is the business, it boggles my mind. I believe that you 3 ladies and me hosting and holding that space, it was perfect. It was perfect. So thank you.
The truth is that, thank you. And the truth is it all comes together, right? I mean, we are, as far as I know, and believe me, I've worked with all kinds of business people. And one thing I find is that the more authentic you are from the inside out and the outside in, that's going to do business, right? You can bring all of who you are to everything you do. And that's what I want to encourage people to do is be resonant with your work and who you are and what you offer. And that will be joyful and abundant. You'll have a lot more fun. I mean, I love what I do and I do what I love. And that's exciting to me.
That's exciting to me too. Catherine, it looked like you're going to say something. You know what I want you ladies to say if there's something that you want to express. We're getting to the end of the hour, and I do have to share some things with you ladies. There's some good stuff in the Fresh Inspiration Show public group, and I do see some people on live with us on Zoom. So if you want to, in a moment, unmute yourself, we'll make sure that you get to ask your question directly. So ladies, please share as we're ending this hour in this expert pod.
I wanted to share a quotation that I think kind of ties this up, and also I wanted to say that I work with people who are seen as leaders and very successful, and they're all of the people that I work with. They are acknowledging within themselves their stuck places, that they're successful in all these places, but this is stuck and this is stuck and this is stuck. And they could be more if those places were unstuck. And they're coming up now because we are all called to be more. And that's why I wanted to read this quotation from L.R. Nost. Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. All things break, and all things can be mended. Not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go. Love intentionally, extravagantly, unconditionally. The broken world waits in darkness for the light that is you.
I love not with time, but with intention. We don't have to wait.
Yes.
Intention. Anybody else want to add in?
I think that was the perfect ending.
Oh no, well, there's so much more, but Catherine, that was incredible, and I think that is a great way to start looking at it. You know, when we start looking at finding those skills to be able to make sure that we're not stuck in this, where we use that word restriction, is that this is where it is learning how to bring that love, abundance in your life and not feel stuck. Sabina Gork-Schroed, Catherine Brewer, Jill Lublin. These are the ladies that have been with you for this hour. In our place here in the Fresh Inspiration Show public group, they've been linked to so many conversations, so I'm going to share with you in a moment. So you know how to get in contact with them through social media. You can see their names there. There were so many juicy nuggets that you got out of this today, from feeling like these people that are in front of us, that we're guiding it, but boy, are we human, and we have to use these tools. So today's the day to step in, to be able to find the opportunities of areas where Catherine was talking about. You feel successful, but you have these areas that are just corked and stopping you. So how can you get your business out there and get publicity so that you can be in that pivot moment or right away into what is you need to do right now, that all of a sudden you're reawakening and saying, here, wait, I had this thing I was doing. So Catherine Brewer and Sabina Gork-Schroed were talking about the space of understanding. Don't wait now. Get yourself into the love and abundance, which we are all about. So let's make sure we keep this going. Ladies, I want to share some things with you. Do you want to hear what people were saying on our Facebook page here?
Absolutely.
Oh, this is incredible. Okay, so Donna wanted to do a shout out, and she just said, wow, Catherine. So in a moment when you were saying stuff, she was loving it. Donna Schreiner is saying, fabulous information, ladies, fabulous. So she's working at being a health coach, Donna Schreiner is, and she's saying, I really love the information you're giving, because I love being able to work with people, and I love really understanding. This is about community and finding our way. Jacqueline Grace Hayward, I love that we're saying, I love what you're saying, Catherine Brewer, about partnership with life. That is deepening for me too. Donna Schreiner again said, as a future coach, it is exciting to think I can ask for help. All you ladies, we were talking about help. And Jill Lublin, you specifically talked about that if we stay in our space where we're not asking for help, then we're not going to get out there. The first thing is really getting yourself out there and moving. Michelle Hardiman Guptill, oh yes, so freely important, so freaking important. I mean, honestly, how can we coach others if we don't have our own coaches, right? How can we help guide others toward their own healing if we are not asking for help? Jacqueline Grace Hayward, Sylvia Brown wrote in that book, in around 2020, a severe pneumonia-like illness will spread.
Wow.
And Catherine Brewer, you're speaking to that. Jacqueline is specifically in that space, understanding. Jacqueline also said, yes, Rhonda Liebig, I am being called into even deeper, honestly, about who I am, what I want, and what I know. Who feels that right now? Many. And if you don't, this is a perfect time to jump in and feel that. Get the tools that you just got this hour and step into that. Jacqueline, I'm so happy that you shared that. Donna Schreiner, Michelle, I've been blessed to be coached by Rhonda. Thank you, Donna. I'm happy to know there are many people with so many areas of expertise to ask help. Do you know that when I'm coaching people, I specifically say, because I support everybody, I'm just like, I have a couple coaches. I think sometimes it's fabulous to be able to have one, but sometimes what we saw here, everybody was speaking the same thing but different language and different ways to get out there and get unclogged. Jacqueline Grace Hayward. Hi, Michelle Hardiman. Lovely to see you here this morning. Love to you. There's so much love I've been finding in this space. Kim Cork says, love this. Michelle Hardiman Guptill, so much love you. That's what she said. And Michelle also said, yes, Sabina Cork Schroed. Donna Schreiner, I like the idea. Playing with experience, Sabina. Michelle Hardiman Guptill, I love the phrase, fear is desire with the brakes on. Thanks for saying that again, my friend. Jacqueline Grace Hayward, you are all talking about curiosity too. When we are restricted, we are lost curiously. Essential elements of play, joy, abundance. Maureen, I'm so happy to see you here. Great question, Rhonda Liebig, about play and publicity. That can also be a story. So, Jill Lublin, do you also support people get beyond the fear and into play? Jill Lublin, do you?
Well, I'm strongest on the message piece, but certainly when you're clear on your message, believe me, you're going to get into play, I promise.
Oh, but Jill, you exude love. I think that you're just oozing, helping people get in that spot. That was a good question, Maureen. I love that. Let's call Jill out on your spiritual space even more, huh? Maureen says,
yes, let's do it. Let's do it. And I'm putting in the chat how to get a hold of me.
Okay, my friend. Because this will all go in also to Facebook, the Facebook group. So Maureen said, love the comments, bringing all that you are to everything you do. Jacqueline brought up, it is perfect, Rhonda Liebig. You are a warm, compassionate woman and hold sweet space. Jacqueline, I've been crying today. So because of all the love, I appreciate that. Donna said, brought me to tears, Catherine. Michelle said, Catherine, you are love. Thank you so much for those words. And Elaine Hausman just came in too. Okay, so we have some information here on the side chat. Ladies, we're going to get going, but is there on Zoom? Does anybody want to share anything?
I just want to share that I am so delighted to be here and so blessed to share this time and space with all of you, and appreciate the opportunity, and really to keep your messages out there because your message matters. Your message matters. And I'm going to say adieu. Ciao, ciao.
Adieu. Love you. Jill, you take off, my friend. You're probably on your next thing here. I am going to keep this window open because I have some commercials from some of the people that are part of our time here. So I'm going to share the screen and share that with you, and I'll mute everybody. But we're going to be back at 1 Pacific time, 4 o'clock Eastern time, and I want you to stay connected. Love you. And thank you for sharing an Inspiration-A-Thon. We'll be back with you.
Bye.
Bye-bye, ladies. I'm getting ready to share a screen so we can learn more about all of these fabulous experts.
Fresh inspiration. is the most important year of our lifetimes. 12 famous astrologers agreed about that at the beginning of 2020. Hi, I'm Catherine Brewer, and when I read that, I asked myself, how can I make the most of this year? I got 3 answers.
Oh, that's
The answer is to connect deeply with the earth and feel my partnership with the earth. The second answer was to lighten up, to enjoy the adventure, to relish the unknown. And boy, are we getting a chance for that now. How are you doing with the relishing? The third answer was to check every morning with my highest wisdom to see how I could bring more love to myself and others. So that's why I'm dedicated to offering all my knowledge and my gifts to anyone who feels that they could be served by it. Especially my gift of helping you connect more deeply with your soul's highest wisdom, to get more clarity about what your contribution to life is to be and how to more fully live that. And together, we can create the world of big love that I saw as a child. You listen to the news and you might think that's impossible, but it isn't. Not if you understand how transformation happens and what is the big picture. And that's another of my gifts, to help you see possibilities and opportunities that aren't obvious. So I use all that I learned in many decades as a marriage family therapist and a school psychologist, plus long and intense training in spiritual and energy transformation and university training in science to create sessions and programs and inspirational events excuse me, that are both practical and transformative. And right now, I would be teaching things like how you clear your energy fields and how you protect your energy fields from all of the confused and difficult energies that are around us now. I love to work with leaders who want to make a difference in the world. People like healthcare workers and coaches and therapists and teachers and officers of moms clubs. I especially like working with those of you who are guiding youth to help you more deeply understand the traits and characteristics of our newest generation and what they're teaching us. So if it's interesting to you to learn how to relish the unknown and to hear from your soul's highest wisdom what your contribution to life is and how to influence others in a more profound way, and do it all with satisfaction and peace and calm and joy, then I invite you to contact me and see if we could journey together. My email address is Catherine, Kathryn, at CatherineBrewer, BREWER.com, or you can PM me on Facebook. And I'm creating a workshop, an online workshop for May 10th entitled Shape Your Future, Align with Your Purpose. That and everything that I offer is 25% off for you. Just use the code TFIS, the Fresh Inspiration Show. I would love to get to know you. Thanks for listening.
Hey everybody, are you excited for the Fresh Inspiration-A-Thon program that's coming up this Sunday? It's going to be a full group of about 20 entrepreneurs sharing their brilliance with you. I'm Beth Lendrum, creator of the 4-Minute Flow, and I'll be there to share with you my processes to help you breathe a little easier during this global event, I'm finding with all of my clients that nobody is breathing. It's just this real tight inhale, very little exhale. Because, you know, we have sadness surrounding us because we're grieving for the past that we used to have, and we're a lot of fear because we're in fear of we don't know what's ahead of us. And so during this event, I'll be sharing with you some simple, practical, yet powerful tools to help you breathe easily. To join me and the other women in the Fresh Inspiration Reawaken on Sunday from 9 a.m. until 3 in the afternoon. Look forward to seeing you. Bye.
Is this the perception in which you've been viewing yourself? Have you been taught to smile on the outside while you're suffering on the inside? Have you lost touch with what makes you happy? Do you put on a happy face and hide your feelings? Hello, I'm Denise B. Shad, spiritual coach, intuitive energy healer, poet, author, and leader of the leaders. I have been writing poems about my spiritual journey, and I didn't even know I was going to release my book, Illuminate, today. I have felt that no one wanted to hear what I had to say. I have felt that I am not enough or I am too much. I have felt shame about believing that I am not enough. And now that I've written Illuminate, this has awoken my central sexual warrior. I now have a loving relationship with the divine light within. I am able to allow my raw emotions to bubble up and turn into passion so that I may be able to co-create the life of my desires, which is to illuminate leaders to step into their central sexual warrior. This loving relationship has ignited my central sexual energy, my life force energy. I feel like dancing and moving my body in a way that excites me. I enjoy having sex with my husband again. I created a process that leads women to find their passion, step out of their secret darkness, and to connect to their bodies so that they can have a sensual, loving relationship with the divine light within. Over the past 11 years of working with women between the age of 48 and 65 or younger, what I have noticed is that even though they have found success in their careers and personal relationships, they begin to have doubts about who they are. They begin to question, is this all there is? And what I have learned is that connecting yourself to Mother Earth calms your mind, releases anxiety, and relaxes your body. Connecting yourself to pure source energy will bring you back into your body and out of the mind chatter. Cultivating self-love is about connecting with the divine light within. And during these times of isolation, we are being called by pure source to go inward and ask these deeper questions, to understand what our mission is on this planet. Are you struggling with self-doubt and not being enough? I invite you to stop running and breathe. And start listening to what your body is telling you. Imagine what is possible for you. You wake up every morning joyful, happy, and free from those thoughts, those negative ruminating thoughts. You love how your body feels. You trust your intuition. I know you're ready to transform. Your next step awaits you. All it requires is action. The willingness to take the first step. The openness to do something different than you've ever done before. Join me during this incredible time on the planet to ignite your sensual, sexual warrior. During this event, I've opened up 10 spots in my schedule to connect with you. These appointments are perfect for you if you are finding you're hiding from your truth. You're starting to doubt your intuition. You're wondering if you're even on the right path. And during these appointments, we will explore where you are now and where you want to go. Save yourself countless hours, money, and struggle doing it on your own. Give yourself the gift of light and love. It's up to you. If you're interested in purchasing my book or contacting me for an appointment, you can reach me at Denise@YourEnergyAwakening.com. On Facebook, on YourEnergyAwakening.com. On Messenger as Denise B. Shad. It's not about changing yourself. It's about loving yourself more. Self-love is essential sexual warrior. Self-love is the illumination. Much love. Namaste.
Hi, I'm here to tell you who I am and what I do. I'm Carolyn C.J. Jones. I empower women to resolve resentment and forgive. When they do this, they reach this incredible peace and freedom. And I help people do that. The ways that I help them include coaching and specialized workshops and courses that I have. And I also have some books that I've written. So let me share with you a little bit about all of these things. First of all, you can find out more about me and why I do what I do, which is this. This is why I do what I do. There's more about this on my website, but in a nutshell, I spent 30 adult years very angry and bitter over my childhood. I drank and drugged that whole time over it, so I really fueled the fire until I crashed and burned. And now I live and got sober, and 19 years later, I live in a place of great gratitude and positivity. And I want to share that with people because it's glorious. I know what it's like on the other side. I was there all those years. And so now I like to share with people how they can get to the place that I found. And so I guide them through a process based on what I experienced. I want to share with you I have 3 coaching programs. They're available on my website under the coaching tab. And as are the specialized workshops are also under the coaching tab. You can actually purchase the programs right there on my website. You don't have to go anywhere else. You can contact me if you have any questions about them. And my website is CarolynCJJones.com. CarolynCJJones.com. There are 2 J's. I'm not stuttering. I have a course coming up, and that also is on the website under the course tab. It's called Bringing Peace Home. I created it specifically for those of you who are struggling with things at home and you're angry and resentful, or there's a lot of anger and resentment occurring at your home. Maybe you're not the one who has it, but it exists. And so if you'd like to learn how to deal with this and regain your peace in the middle of chaos and stress, then go read about this program, check it out, you may be interested. I want to share with you my books I've written. The first book I wrote was in 2010. There's actually a story to it I'm not going to go into, and it's Opening the Gates of the Heart, A Journey of Healing. This is a book that it shares the resiliency and beauty of the human spirit. It's a photograph book of wrought iron gates with verses that go with each gate that kind of explain the gate, if you will. This is available on Amazon and on my website. And then I wrote the little ebook, In Search of Forgiveness, Getting Beyond Your Anger to Have the Life You Want. This too is available both on my website and on Amazon. And then the last book I've written is The Art of Forgiveness, A Promise of Peace. This is an accounting of my story, if you will, my journey from hitting bottom with my drinking through the process of recovery to the positivity and gratitude that I feel today. So you may be interested in this. This is also on my website or on Amazon. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you. And one last thing about me. I am into varnishing wood trim. I like to make it shine like a mirror. And I have to talk about my kitty Izzy. She's my big buddy, 15 years old. She's a great one. So thank you so much. Bye now.
Hi, thank you for joining me in my dance. As you can see, I am a dancer. I have been teaching, choreographing, leading dance companies, and performing for over 30 years in my own dance studio. And now that we are in our homes, I continue to teach dance by offering a daily Facebook Live belly dance class at 11 o'clock Pacific time every day. So I hope you will join me. So because we are not able to go into the studio, I have been working on my project, which is my passion, womenrockproject.com. And this is a project that I started a few years ago. It is the largest online video library of women's wisdom. There are over 500 videos of women who were not satisfied with their lives, who had a vision of how they would like their lives to be, who overcame obstacles and are now living the life of their dreams. But most importantly, they are giving back by motivating, educating, and inspiring other women. So this project, as I said, is my passion, especially now that people are going to have to be changing their lives. And we're all in this together, you know, we're all here, this is all over the world. So this project, this video site is available 24/7 to any woman or girl who can connect to the internet 24/7, you know, anytime, anywhere, any place. So I wanted to let people know about this project. And so I have done a couple of things. First off, I am out here speaking about it. And this is me overcoming one of my obstacles, which is total fear of public speaking. And now I am just doing it anyway because this is a passion and it's important to me. It's a vision that's larger than me. So I am able to come out and tell people all about it. Also, I wrote a book, this is my third book. It's called Daring, Dazzling, and Divine, Secrets to Rock Your Life. And it is a collection of stories and vignettes and articles about myself and all these different women who are on this Women Rock project. So other people will know. You can read about it if you can't get online, and it's very exciting, and I'm totally enjoying doing it, and it will be coming out at the end of May. womenrockproject.com. Please go there. If you sign up, there you can get a free gift, and if you you can also get emails that will let you know when we post new people, new women, which is often. Also, I'll be able to let you know when my book is coming out, and it would be lovely to let you know when the launch is. So, womenrockproject.com. Please go there. Enjoy exploring all the lives of women from around the world who are doing interesting, exciting, motivating, inspiring things for other women and girls. And then hopefully you will read my book. Also, I have a new website, sherrybreyer.com. It's just about to come out. So please come and visit me. Okay. Also, did I tell you that you need to come if you want to and dance with me every day, Facebook Live, 11 o'clock Pacific time, belly dance, free belly dance class. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay.
Hi, I'm Heidi Ju. I'm the author of the Superpower Playbook, and I'm the owner of Harvest Healing Arts and Yoga in Salinas, California. I've been in practice for 27 years as a yoga instructor, meditation teacher, and energy healer. I use my intuition to guide me to help my students and clients who struggle with overwhelm and anxiety, to help them navigate through by giving them protocols and pathways and movements that help them see what their superpowers are and travel in alignment with them so they can have more fruitful journeys where they feel confident and relaxed and tranquil with who they are and how they move through life. So I love doing what I do, and I'd say my superpower is my intuition. And my other superpower is that I'm a synthesizer. And what I name the synthesizer in my book is the person that brings people together. So I have a knack of bringing people in community and seeing where people have alignments and commonalities and pulling them together. And I love doing that. That's like my favorite jam. So I look forward to meeting you and working with you in the future. Thank you.
Inspiration, fresh inspiration, fresh inspiration, fresh inspiration. Fresh inspiration.
All right. I hope you enjoyed everything. So we're clipping off from this 11 o'clock time where we were talking about reawakening. And I want to make sure you know what the next spot is here. So we're going to be coming in. Kim, I'm so happy you're here, my friend. You look so beautiful. So at 1 o'clock, 1 to 2, our expert pod, this is Pacific time, bringing up the frequency to here and now. We need you. So you're going to be in with Laura Conklin Nielsen Holbrook. She's known as Laura Marie in her business space, and she's known for Set Free to Run Free. We have Denise B. Shad, Awakening Your Central Energy to Love. We have Christy Corradi, which is Mastering the Art of Life. And she does artwork, but it's really through that creativity, mastering life. Kim Korick, the Authenticity Coach with Planet Love Yourself. And Dirk Schultz, Intensity with Intention. Awesome, awesome stuff. I want to share with you that you got an opportunity to learn about these different experts. As you get to go through the day, you're learning about how to have play and fun in your life when you feel restricted. We gave good examples of what restricted feels like and where it comes from. I thought it was a great example. This live video is being recorded right now, but we also have this in the Fresh Inspiration Show public group if you haven't been in there, because maybe you're coming directly in through Zoom. I really am looking at that restriction part. It's so easy to fall into that. So for a moment, I'm going to come in with my Rhonda Liebig health coach space. And I want to speak to you about the nourishment that you're giving yourself these days. We've been talking a lot about the spiritual space, how to get there and put out there in publicity, which is so important. We've been talking about light body. You can hear this exude out of Sabina. Carolyn C.J. Jones was speaking about how to use words to be able to express more love instead of feel resentment and stuck. I want to go in with us nurturing our body. I call it the 3 energy revitalized pillars. These 3 energy revitalized pillars are important to me. And I hope they're going to be to you when you see the layout here. I know that we need body movement. That heart needs it. If we don't have that component of the movement, it's going to make us feel sluggish, not allow us to feel whole. On the other side, if that's all we're doing is working out, then that's only one component. You have the other 2 that you need to think about. So the other one of the energy of the 3 energy revitalized pillars is food. The food is what nurtures our soul, nurtures our body to have the energy. And Beth Lendrum started speaking about that as a self-care advocate. I want to go a little bit deeper with this because this is my soul space. This is where I call myself an expert. I open up my refrigerator every day and I look to see what I have in there and how I can play. And we've been using these words today: play, joy, and abundance. When food feels restricted, we feel like we have to follow rules. We feel like that we have to. We feel we have to. Wouldn't it be fun to find out that the food that you like right now can actually nourish you? I call that the 3-plate phase planning. Because whatever's happening right now, there's some good stuff nuggets in there. I can't see 100% of not having something good on your plate. And even if you're doing all bad stuff you think, there's always space to find the good. Now, if you have that freedom in your body, then you're going to have the freedom in your cells. You're going to have the freedom and the free flow of food. You're not going to be afraid of the kitchen. So that's the 2nd energy revitalized pillars. The 3rd one is mindset. When we feel restricted, when we feel that we are in our saboteur, and I used to wear the saboteur suit, and everything I thought pretty much was at a very high level. I think there's like 60,000 words we say a day, and it might be bigger than that. I have to look at the number. And then we talk to ourselves. 80% of that is known to be negative. So when we're in that negative space, we tend to restrict ourselves. We tend to hold ourselves in a space that all we can hear is the stuff that we can't do. Or we put ourselves into a space where we feel like we can't do much. So when you start looking at how you want the freedom in your heart and the flow in your body, you need those 3 energy revitalized pillars. So when you look at that and you want to know more, I want you to go to my website, Rhonda Liebig Health Coach. There you want to get the energy assessment. You're not going to find it anywhere else. And in this assessment, you get an opportunity to not feel restricted, because it's going to bring you to a journey where you learn what kind of movement should you be doing right now, and should you're going to get connected with, because the quiz is going to tell you exactly where your body is stuck, how you can uncork that energy. Because the energy gets stuck right in the body. When you don't have that flow, then that's what's going to stop you. Also, in the energy quiz, you are going to learn what kind of foods you can have that are here right now. And I bet you're going to find some foods that you love. So I want you to go in and check out Rhonda Liebig, Health Coach. As the founder of the Fresh Inspiration Show, I care about the space that we're doing today. I truly care about others that are in a profession that are like mine. I know that I can't do this alone. Today, I am locking arms with others. We partner. To do it all by yourself is a very harsh, hard thing to bring yourself through. There's no such thing as solopreneurs anymore. And my definition would be that you're behind the computer and you're doing your work and you know how to do it, but you don't have other angles. You're not looking there for that support. I was there many times. Now, to run a show like this and to stay in the heart center, deal with all the technical stuff that goes wrong, and lead. Being a leader is raw. It's uncomfortable sometimes. People expect things from you that you don't realize what they're expecting. You sometimes don't even know the questions to ask. And so to be a leader in this space, like I do in the Fresh Inspiration Show, it's total grassroots. I started my business 12 years ago. That's why I'm able to show up online and be able to know what to do. Because I've been doing this behind the scenes for 12 years. And if you are looking to go and pivot or flow onto another path of all in-house or connecting with people in a room or not being so successful virtually, the Fresh Inspiration Show founder, me, I'm there to help. We're in different times right now. And we need to, or we get to, be aware and bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, excited as a leader and being creative and wanting to lead. I want to make it easier for you. What would it feel like if it was easier? If you knew how to use Zoom, Skype, any software out there that you need to interface to make sure everything's flowing. This weekend, I also did a retreat. I used my computer and I also used my phone, and there was purpose for that. And I used them at the same time, but you can't have them both, the phone and the computer, in the same room at the same time because some bad things happen. But I was able to use both those tools, and I can share how to do that, to stay in your profession and show that you know what you're doing, that you got this. If you're ready to bring your business online or shine even more, you'll want to contact me. And you can see my name there, Rhonda Liebig. Send me an email. Rhonda Liebig, actually Rhonda at rhondaliebig.com. Also, you're probably watching this in the Fresh Inspiration Show public group. Make sure you tag in here and you say you're very interested. I want to have a conversation with you. I have quite a few people that are in line, and I know when I look at my capacity, I probably only have space for 2 people. And that's serious because I'm so busy right now, but in a wonderful way. But I'd love to serve this space for you. Thank you for spending the day with us today. We're going to have some more. Those are my 2 commercials, and I hope you enjoy them. And I hope you enjoyed seeing the other experts as I was sharing that screen with you. This is, Kim, thank you for that thumbs up. You look beautiful, my friend. Just such beauty and growth. I'll be back at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock Eastern time. And I want to bring some more vibrancy into your life. My heart and my soul are soaring by watching this today. And come back. If you want to come in Zoom and you want to use your vocals and ask questions at the last part of the hour, please tell me in the Facebook group. Or you can send me an email saying, Rhonda, I want the Zoom link so I can actually be directly in here. Because I'm here for you. I'm very heart-centered and I want to make sure that you're getting what you want. Love you, my friends, and I will see you in about 15 minutes. Everything's moving fast. Mwah. Come back to Zoom. Let's take a 15-minute break. Namaste. Kim, I'll see you in about 6 minutes, my friend, as the next expert in our group. Love you.